Raider Nation, what's going on? It's your boy Raider Slim back with another video. Go ahead and click that subscribe, like, and comment. Any one of the ones, appreciate you guys, man. But first and foremost, I appreciate you guys hitting that click and tapping in and watching. Let's talk about this Maxx Crosby subject, man. And we already talked about it the other day about the rumors circulating, but we're gonna talk about today, and he addressed the rumors, right? So basically, he was on NFL on Fox, and he was asked, about the situation. He's like, I'm glad you asked, right? And basically, he's like, it's one of them situations is basically like, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. And where he kind of started talking about it was, he kind of said like, when he was younger, he was vocal in his career talking about, coaching, who I want, this and that. And he said a lot of people that basically he looked up to, like his mentors, were like, man, you don't need to do all that. Don't focus on all that and just leave that conversation alone. So he said like he kind of pulled away from doing that. Because he knows like basically like when you say certain things, a lot of people are going to take it out of context. They're going to take a highlight and you're going to click. So a lot of times I don't really come out and basically like, throw this out there in the atmosphere because it may just be clickbait and it may not be exactly what was fully said. So I learned as I started doing this type of thing, like reporting and giving my feelings and whatnot and what I feel on certain situations, is that I want to be knowledgeable about it basically before I put it out. Because like I said, a lot of people do, take it out of context. So they'll take one little sentence or 3 words and like, what? And you click, you're like, oh, I wasn't even that, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? So basically he said that, he's in the training facility every day, rehabbing, and asked him where he stands. He's like, look, man, I pulled away from doing these type of things years ago. One of my mentors told me, like, don't focus on that. So he said he hasn't been doing that. And he said basically he sees his phone blow up and all these trade rumors, all these PR people calling him, texting him. And he said he had to laugh about it. He's like, man, I basically just laughed about the situation because basically he said he didn't even say it, right? So I don't know where it came from, why it was even said, why it was addressed. I don't really know. But it did pretty much take away from the whole Super Bowl activities that they did have. They were basically talking about Maxx Crosby and still talking about Maxx Crosby, which is a part of the Raiders, man. He is the Las Vegas Raiders. The face of the franchise, man, is Maxx Crosby. So if anybody would ever, it's not going to be the team on to trade him. They would have to be like Maxx, because like Spytek said, you never trade away your best player, right? So basically, he said, look, I'm in the training facility, I'm rehabbing, I'm working out, I'm in the building before pretty much anybody doing this thing, and he's just focused on the rehab, being the best that he can be. So that lets you know where he stands, man, and basically we all know Maxx Crosby is a Raider, man. Who knows, he'll be there for life, but we don't know, what I'm saying? He looks like one of those guys who's going to be there for a long time, and they basically addressed about being somewhere tough and not being able to win and stuff, what I'm saying? Not winning at that point in time. And I think it's a point in time where the Raiders will get better. Just looking at this year right here, he should be a little more excited knowing that we got a new quarterback coming in, and knowing that we got a better coach coming in, you know what I mean? So I feel like things are going to be trending in the right direction, and we'll start to see these things, start to take place and mold. And, Fernando Mendoza had another good interview today when he was talking, and basically he was saying like, well, what do you feel, like how what is the, Mendoza feel inside the locker room? And he basically was like, it's not all on one guy. I can just ask the guys that been there and basically the leaders how they want me to lead. You know what I'm saying? And he basically said like it all comes together. It's not one person. He spoke about Maxx Crosby and whatnot. So it was a pretty good interview. You should check that out. It's on FanDuel. He was on one of the little podcasts there for the little NFL weekend for the Super Bowl thing they got going on. But I'm glad he addressed the rumors, and we can set him down and just lay him behind and whatnot, because we know every single year it's trade rumors. We know early in the year before the trade deadline, everybody was saying Maxx Crosby gonna be traded, and it didn't end up happening. So beginning of last year said the same thing, but right now he said he's focused on rehabbing, and basically said he laughed about the situation when his phone was blowing up about someone said that he said this, and he's like, some random person is the way he said it, but we all know who that person is, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, that's the latest on the Maxx Crosby news, man. Seemed like it's been nipped in the butt, put to rest, man. So we know where Maxx Crosby stands, man. Raider Nation, let's go ahead and focus on getting Clint Kubiak, the announcement coming up for that, and then focus on this draft and the other pieces of the puzzle that the Raiders need to get. Offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, the whole nine. They cleaned up the whole staff. But let me know what you guys think, man. Appreciate you guys, man. Raider Nation. Peace.